Nerd Odyssey Podcast. I am Dalton. Oh boy, I'm a little indifferent to this game. I truly feel I cannot recommend it with a $70 price tag for two reasons. One being it's such a niche game, like Mario Party or Mario Kart. Does have some moments it shines with multiplayer and some decent competition, decent skill cap online, but it is a game that needs multiple people, and I believe it's not a long-term game to play online. I'm already getting bored a week in. And number two, the mechanics and races or different types of mini games you can play, which I'll get into, have questionable design at times. But before I knock it anymore, I'm going to try my best to sum this game up because it combines a lot of genres, and my best go at it is it's Mario Kart meets Mario Party meets Super Smash Brothers, and Sakurai was the main developer, of course. He created and pioneered the Smash Brothers games, and Kirby, for that matter, too. And he's an absolute legend. So part of me is like, who am I to say this game design is poor? But there is absolutely some bad things in this game we need to discuss. But first, we got to talk about the four main modes you can play. There are four. You have Air Ride, which we'll start with. Air Ride, I'll say, is the most standard, like Mario Kart. You race, you can get power-ups, which you can use in melee attacks. You glide, and you get to the end and try to get first place. That's it. There is no Cup Series like Mario Kart. You just race and try not to get in last. Or you can do like a free mode or like a time trial kind of thing. It's kind of fun in online play, and that's about it for me. When you play solo, you can adjust the CPU levels and make it a little bit more difficult, but that's really it. Some main differences, I'll say, in this compared to like Mario Kart, for example, is that when you do melee or when you do damage to someone, you do get speed boosts. So you hit someone, you get a speed boost. Also, you can follow someone's trail and kind of get a speed boost from their trail, which is a cool mechanic. But the main difference is a break and charge. This game literally, all it has is a steering mechanic, your R button, and a brake. That's it. And it's B. You hit B, and you brake to power up a charge around tight corners, and you get a boost when you let it go. But you also hit B to do your melee or do damage. So literally it's steering, and you hit the B button. Now, despite the simple mechanics, there is a pretty decent skill cap, I thought. And listen, I thought I was the man online, and I'm getting freaking punished. And perhaps that's the genius of Sakurai, because nobody thought Smash Bros. Melee was going to be the esport level skill cap it is and was. But these mechanics do seem simple, but they have some mastery, which is respectable. So Air Ride, that's the first mode. Next, and my God, the next mode is Top Ride. It's a top-down view with simple maps that are maybe 30 seconds long, sometimes more, perhaps, but it's so bad I thought this was a joke. Like one of the developers put this in as an actual mode accidentally, or like as a prank, and is laughing, saying, wow, it's actually going out like that with Top Ride as a main mode you can play. Top Ride is at best a mediocre minigame you would see in like Mario Party or something. The fact that you can do these poor 30-second races online and rank up seems like such a joke to me, and this is partly where it gets frustrating. There is much less with the skill cap in Top Right here than the other main modes or games you can do, and even the online play seems more luck than skill to me. Perhaps a little bit of skill, but just the poor design. You can play with multiplayer, play with your buddies for maybe 10 minutes before it gets old. That's it. Top Ride should not be a main game mode you can play. It should be a mini game. So next, finally, ladies and gentlemen, we have something here. City Trial. City Trial, here's where the skill cap and game design gets good and where it shines. So I'm not knocking it the whole review. This is good. This is a good mode here. You start in pretty much a free-for-all in the city with a bunch of players, whether that's CPU, AI, or other people online, which is fun. But you start in a free-for-all and you try to collect as many power-ups as possible. all of which you can build up, like health, your top speed, your turn, your boost, power, your ability to boost and cut the corners, your offense, your defense, etc. But you collect as many of these as possible, while other players are also doing the same. Now, here's what's important. You can hurt each other. And here the Smash Bros. Versus style comes into play, where you can damage each other. And why that's important is if you damage another player, they drop their power-ups, causing you to be able to grab them. And if you even do enough damage, they may lose their vehicle and subsequent power-ups they have, putting them at a big disadvantage, because the power-ups you obtain, you then take with you into another mode. This is where the game is fun. After you get all your power-ups in the city mode, you then go into a melee, perhaps a racing mode, a button-pressing mode, where guess what? You drive over buttons, and whoever gets or presses the most button wins. Another questionable game mode. But there's even like a one where you glide, which is okay. But you really don't know which mini game you'll get after the city trial part. So that's why it's so important, that city mode or that city trial first part. You just have to collect everything you can, put yourself at any kind of advantage before you go into a subsequent or another mode where you'll hash it out with the power-ups you obtain. Last and least, I'll say, is the road trip, which is solo play, campaign, I'll call it, campaign in quotes. All the other modes, you can play solo with CPU, or like the AI, or you could play online with people. And there is ranked play as well. But in Road Trip, there is New Game Plus, where you can play on super hard mode, and thank God for that, because normal is such a joke, and hard mode was okay, a decent challenge, but this is where the game design really takes a hit for me. And as a solo player, that's my bias, I can admit that. But as a solo player, this campaign, if you can call it that, is so bad. They threw together a very lackluster storyline. In the process of this storyline, as you're going through, it exposes you to the different game modes, the different mini games, and the different styles of play. So it's pretty much a 2-hour-long tutorial. You speed through this, spending damn near as much time in the menu, clicking through stuff, than in the actual mini games, playing the damn game. The mini games are so short, they're so repetitive, and again, the questionable design comes into play. And I want to talk about one thing in a second, but the repetitive back and forth driving to what kind of game you want to select. You're going to drive on the road to what kind of game you want to pick. You play the game for 30 seconds, then you're back in the menu, then you're back to driving to the next game you want to play. And it was just tedious, repetitive, and frankly pretty boring. I got to talk about Destroy the Pillar. What is this? This is part of the road trip. This is one of the mini games you can play in the road trip. I'm not sure if it's in City Trial. I haven't played it yet in City Trial. Perhaps it is. But this mini game seems like such a bad design. And even some of the other mini maps and mini games you get with Kirby Air Raiders are not even comparable to the quality you would get in Mario Party mini games or even in Super Smash Brothers. The mini games in Super Smash Brothers you get that are outside of the standard versus combat in the campaign are fun to master, where you have to run and break the targets or something like that. There is no mastery in Destroy the Pillar at all. You run into the pillar. What is this? I'm sorry, Mr. Sakurai, I love you. I do love Smash Bros, and I'm grateful to you for the Kirby series. You are a master game developer, but this just feels like perhaps Nintendo wanted some extra content, so they last minute threw together some games that feel lazy and boring. Destroy the Pillar, you run into it over and over again. Press the buttons. And listen, I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping in the next year or two we find that there is a high skill cap and very detailed mechanics that can turn this game esport-ish like Smash Bros. Ultimate and Melee, but I'm really not seeing that right now. Now, I guess no one really knew, like, out the gate that Super Smash Bros. Melee was going to be an esport, but this game just seems a little too elementary. I really don't see the game designs like press the buttons and destroy the boxes, where you just destroy the boxes, standing the test of time like Smash Bros. Has. I don't see it. Last piece to hit on, graphics, performance, and even map design. This is a good-looking game as any on the Switch, too. There's very little loading times. Cutscenes were well done graphically, and only graphically. The story was poor, but it did look great for what it's worth. The map design was a B. I give it a B. Some cool maps in the Air Ride, which again is the Mario Kart style racing. Top Ride, don't even ask me about Top Ride maps. They were the same layout pretty much with different colors and very slightly different mechanics. Maybe you could argue on the map. Again, the city trial is cool. The game incorporates a lot of gliding, so you're going on top of buildings, rooftops. You're going on top of some caves. There's a random pirate ship in the middle of the map you can go up to. And then you progress after the city trial to the other different maps with the variability, and that was a cool feature. The variability was cool in terms of the different games you would play, but again, all right, thank you for sticking with me, but as a summary, this game, it shines in the multiplayer online modes. I just spent all this time bashing it, but the multiplayer online is fun. You can climb up ranks, and there's placing, which is there's certainly a skill cap with Air Ride and the City Trial. I'll say there is absolutely some mastery, but for $70, remember what I started with, for $70, the content you get, absolutely no way I can recommend this game. It is a bad campaign. There are some bad mini games that are just silly and elementary. And listen, all this being said, like I just alluded to, I hope I'm wrong. I do. Maybe we can look back at this and say, Dalt, you were dead wrong. This game is crushing. Look, press the buttons is an esport. Destroy the pillar is an esport. But I'm really not seeing it right now. Don't kill me for my opinions here. I love you all. Thank you for watching. Message me if you want to destroy me in online city trial because I'm awful. And maybe that's why I'm salty. Maybe I just suck at it. I don't know. But thank you for watching.